14 for 113. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Salter, he's been on the money most of the time, and when he's not, his wide receivers have really helped him. 14 of 16. And they both have hurt the other on the grounds.
Yeah, it's interesting. New Mexico State got away from the run a little bit. I'd expect them to get back to that here in the second half. And can the Aggies defensive line get some pressure?
It's a short kick. And we go down to the sideline. Amanda Guerra.
Well, Rich, Jamie Chadwell not pleased with his defense after they gave up that touchdown just before halftime. He said, we on defense, we've got to stop worrying about what the Aggies are doing on offense. I said, well, what do you mean by that? He said, we have a lot of finger pointing going on right now on defense. These guys are making excuses. They cannot do that. As far as New Mexico State and Jerry Kill, his focus on defense as well. He says, with the way each of these quarterbacks are playing right now, whoever gets the stop is going to win. He says they are going to change things up regarding their schemes. He told his team, you have 1/2 to win a championship, and they're not going to give it to you.
All right, thank you, Amanda. Salter going deep, first play, second half, and it's incomplete. Bedgood.
And how about Keyshawn Elliott carrying the receiver all the way down the field? That's a will linebacker. That's a mismatch. That's the matchup you want. The ball hits Bedgood in the hands. Elliott's right there. He tries to get his hand on his hand, and he times it perfectly. Liberty going for the knockout blow earlier, but the leader of this defense comes through.
Elliott just a sophomore. Salter, quick throw. Daniels with the catch, breaks a tackle. Makes a move. Midfield. 40. 30. Daniels sideline. 10. And he's in. Flags are down after the score. C.J. Daniels. "72 yards.
Not surprised that Liberty goes back. Now remember, Rich, this is the nation's leading rushing team, but they opened the second half with 2 deep shots and hit on the second.
Illegal block in the back. Number 21, offense. 10-yard penalty for first down.
The flag came well after he was in the end zone. So a late flag is going to take the score away.
That is a crusher. That's on Trayon Sibley, who missed the 3 games prior to last week's with injury. You see him there in the very left of the screen, just a foolish penalty. Pushes down Jordan Vincent unnecessarily and takes points off the board. A crucial mistake here to start the third quarter.
And it clearly was a push in the back, and it obviously wouldn't have affected the touchdown. But that doesn't mean it's not a penalty.
Liberty struggled with penalties this year, Rich. They're 117th in penalty yards per game with 64. But depending on how this game ends up.
Please reset the game clock to 14 minutes, 30 seconds. The clock will start on the snap.
And this is part of that frustration that Jamie Chadwell was talking about on the defensive side. Now you've got boneheaded, unforced errors. That's the way you lose ball games. That's not championship level play, and Jamie Chadwell can't be happy.
Well, they're in the red zone. Let's see if they can stick it in. Bedwell straight ahead, and down he goes. Verizon red zone. How is Liberty in the red zone this year? And tonight, 4 trips, 3 touchdowns. That's 75%. That's well over the nation's average, which sits about 62%.
I like the demeanor there with the coach talking to him, saying, hey, man, don't worry about it. Just be smart. Don't panic. We're in this game. Emotions run high. There's a lot riding on this game for both of these teams.
Cooley. He is tough to bring down. Has the first down. Jordan Vincent finally gets him to the ground.
Rich, what set this up was a missed tackle that was the big play down the field, and there's another one there in the hole by Keyshawn Elliott. He triggers quickly, but the missed tackles that plagued them the first time they played the Flames are showing up here again.
Cooley 5'7", 210. Still in the backfield.
Let that offensive line eat.
Sibley in motion. Cooley diving. And he's in. Now the touchdown.
Take a look at this. Cooley puts his hand down, which he can do in that extra step, in that extra effort. Just tremendous balance. We talked about his low center of gravity. The bottom and the palm of your hand can touch to keep yourself elevated. He got that last foot down and was able to spring across for the score.
Point is good. You saw Trayon Sibley there right before you saw Cooley. 3 touchdowns, 56 yards on 8 carries. And the Wake Forest transfer in the end zone. Liberty up 28-21.
Yeah, you see those 3 touchdowns. It ties his career high. That high was set last week against UTEP when he had 3 that week. So he's had 6 rushing touchdowns in these last 2 weeks. Not bad. Old number 20 there.
It's Max Morgan, the punter, who kicks it off. And it lands. It takes a left turn. It goes out of bounds. Boy, that one went out of bounds at the half-yard line, and that's going to cost Liberty some pretty good yardage.
Free kick out of bounds. Number 37, kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
That's a second drive in a row that they're going to start with good field position.
We summon the duck. Championship game duck tonight. Both starting quarterbacks tonight's game have a chance to pass for 3,000, run for 1,000. Who is the only player in FBS history to accomplish this twice? That is our Aflac trivia question.
I got that one real wrong. Thought I was pretty certain. All right, New Mexico State start this drive off running the football.
That's what they did in the first half early. They turned to the air for that last drive. It got them a touchdown. There's your comparison this season. And you can see, and look, bowl games, they're both headed to a bowl game so they can add to their totals in the postseason.
It's just pretty remarkable that both of them have done running similar style offenses. Both have the ability to extend and escape on pass plays, but the designed run game has been very fruitful for them as well.
Jones, Bazell, C.J. Bazell.
Bazell triggered off that outside edge, and you've got to have some sort of counter to be able to take advantage of that. He just gets right in the hip pocket of the left tackle, and there's nobody there, and just runs down Jamani Jones from the backside, and now it's 3rd and forever.
Pavia running out of time, looking downfield, man wide open, and he bounced it to him. Bellamy had the first down. He had no one near him. And Pavia, feeling the pressure, could not get it to him.
And Bellamy's frustrated. The first time these guys played, he led the team with 3 catches for 74 yards. He's running the dig, and he's open for a long time, but Pavia got kind of happy feet and just one-hops the football to him. And another 3 and out, the second of the game for New Mexico State, immediately after Liberty drove down the field at will.
Haynes with the punt, Green with the return, and it doesn't last very long. 53 yards on the punt.
Rich, we were going to go to break, but there's some laundry on the field that we should attend to first.
That's right.
Seems to be getting a little chippy down there. Guys getting thrown down and taking shots on the ground. See what this call is, but Seems like the intensity's ratcheting up.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, number 2, kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. First down, Liberty. Timeout on the field.
They're going to get the football right around the 36, 28-21. Liberty up in this championship game.
Mexico State, because the last 3 drives, Liberty has driven on them at will. They're missing tackles. They're killing them with chunk plays. This would be a great time if you're an Aggies fan to get a turnover, and if you're Liberty, you want to get up 2 scores here and try to put this game away.
That's a pitch. Bedgood again. This is a guy that thought he was done with college football after last year at Coastal Carolina. He walked away, didn't even play in their bowl game.
New Mexico State is shell-shocked. It's just a beautiful job, Rich. You were talking about the triple option. Well, they finally go back to it. The Aggies can't get off blocks. They're blocking well on the perimeter. They're not tackling well inside. And Liberty is marching effortlessly here.
This is one of the best big play teams in college football. They lead the nation in plays over 30 yards. They have 2 of them tonight. That one was for 24. Blitz comes. Bubbled it, and Lucas was right there. I don't know if Lucas caused the fumble, but he was the guy that held on to it.
You see, Caden Salter was not happy there. That's the second time that the exchange was possibly muffed. He wanted to be an RPO, but then Billy Lucas comes from the backside, and that clearly wasn't a clean operation, but disaster averted there. And little things like that can now give the Aggies a chance with a 2nd and long situation here. Another negative play. We've only had a couple of those all evening.
Yeah, and that's the first one for Liberty.
Timeout. Liberty, their first of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And so Liberty calls the timeout. Jamie Chadwell has had a long road to get here. I mean, man, he started at the very bottom, a quarterback at East Tennessee State, assistant at Delta State, North Greenville, head coach, starts rolling at both those places. Charleston Southern, 4 years in FCS, 5 years at Coastal Carolina. And look at the records as a head coach at those places. And, of course, Coastal Carolina, they were a fun team to watch, and he's brought this unique offense that he's picked up along the way. And he was a college quarterback, and their offensive coordinator came from Air Force, Paul Hamilton, when he was at East Tennessee State. That's where he got that triple option. He combined it with the West Coast passing game back then added shotgun, and then RPOs, and then the quick passing game. And along the way, so it's like cooking for the first time. He said, you know, look, you're going to mess up a lot, and he did, but he found some recipes that really worked. It's Billy Lucas on the carry to the 20.
That's 2 wins in a row, and that time by the defensive line of the Aggies. That's really been the position group that I think has been the quietest tonight that I was expecting to give some problems for Liberty, but that offensive line has done a great job. As we take a look at Gabe Peterson there, did a nice job on that last play defeating his block and making the tackle.
Time of possession is almost even, but not total yardage.
Yeah, these last 3 drives for Liberty, man, have been a clinic. And there, once again, the Aggies struggling to line up.
They're down in 8. Salter, end zone, caught! Touchdown, Daniels! Marvelous catch.
Rich, when you're in or near the red zone, it's not as much about plays as it is players. Just a tremendous job by C.J. Daniels going up to high point that football. He's 6'2", playing against the 5'8" Andre Selden, and he made that look easy.
First double-digit lead of the ball game. Extra point is up and good. Caden Salter, 17 of 20, 289. Second touchdown. Daniels and Frith, the 2 wide receivers.
Been confused, not being able to line up. We talked about it at halftime. Amanda heard from Jerry Kill. It's like, we don't know what we're doing. They get the ball off, then you take a look down here. It's man coverage at the bottom. And Andre Selden, who Coach Kill called the best cover corner in the conference, is getting absolutely torched by C.J. Daniels. Now, he's the boundary corner, which is where they put their best corner because they have to be one-on-one. But whether it's skill players on the perimeter or at the line of scrimmage, Liberty is really starting to take over here.
These two teams have traded leads. It's been tied most of the way. New Mexico State blinks first, and Liberty's up by 2 scores. Bring the duck back. Our trivia question. Both starting quarterbacks have a chance to pass for 3,000, rush for 1,000. Who's the only player in FBS history to accomplish this twice? Lamar Jackson, 2016, 2017.
And it just happened. I was so disappointed in myself that I didn't get that. But you didn't know it either.
No.
Jackson is no joke, man. He's still no joke. Doing what he did at Louisville in the NFL.
Aggies now trying to move the football and cut into the lead. Pavia rolling, firing up the sideline. That's a catch. Caught there. Jonathan Brady to the house. 75 yards. Well, that's an answer.
Liberty fans can't believe it. What happened there? They've struggled to beat man coverage all night, and they run a wheel route out of the backfield. The defensive back misplays it again. It misplays it. Man, my lips get in the way. And Jonathan Brady takes it to the house.
At it, baby.
That's something they haven't been able to do all night, but a dang good response by the Aggies.
Their last 2 touchdown drives have lasted 20.
Brady just takes it over, and he's telling the crowd to be quiet. We ain't going to go away so easily. Remember, Rich, this is a team that boat raced Auburn. They beat them like they stole something. They've got a lot of heart, and take a look. It's been all offense all night for both of these teams, especially in the last 2 drives.
75-yard touchdown pass ties a Conference USA championship game record. Chris Robinson to D'Angelo Antoine in 2019 for FAU, and Taylor McCarg.
What?
Our Taylor McCarg.
What up, T?
Jordan Taylor for Rice in 2013. On to New York, Brent Stover for this update. Brent?
Guys, Pac-12 title game. Michael Penix Jr. shuffles it to Jeremy Bernard for the Washington touchdown. It's Oregon's largest deficit of the season, down 17-3 in the second.
Ooh, boy, oh boy, that's a win for the committee if one of the undefeateds can stay in there. But Oregon's built to be able to come back and close that deficit. But hats off to Kalen DeBoer and those Washington Huskies. They've had a great season.
That stadium hosts 2 championship games in less than 24 hours, right? Mountain West tomorrow. Salter has had time all night. Pump fake, dangerous in the open field. Races across midfield. Salter sliding is down at the 41-yard line. This guy is dynamite.
When it rains, it pours. This was pretty good coverage by New Mexico State, but there's no pressure. Salter running around just trying to buy himself time. There's no pursuit, and then he just becomes a better athlete that's faster than the other team.
27 yards and a first down at the New Mexico State 44. And a short run by Cooley. Sone Apiu making the tackle.
Yeah, Apiu did a nice job there, but take a look at these second half possessions, man. And that's 4 in a row for this team. After they stalled out and turned the ball over in the red zone on downs, they've been lights out. Largely because of that dude right there, man. 7 is Superman right now.
Dead good in motion. Play action. Salter was going to throw it to him. Looks at him again. Scrambles. Breaks a tackle. Stumbles and is down. Ho-hum. Another 16 yards. Don Wilson made the stop.
Jordan Robinson right here almost gets himself home, but just misses. the jersey of Caden Salter, and it's been a night of misses and missed tackles for the guys in white. They're going to go back and watch the film of how close they were and feel sick to their stomach. But you know what erases that, Rich? A turnover. The Aggies can get one of those, they get themselves right back in this bad boy.
Cooley has a big lane and rolls himself for 13 yards to the 15. 1st and 10 in the red zone for Liberty.
Football oftentimes is about attitude. It's about belief. It's about swag. It's about confidence. When you watch Liberty, particularly this guy, Quentin Cooley, they're feeling it. They're getting lathered up, and what that starts to do is break the will of the opponent. New Mexico State's got to find a way to bow their neck and get a stop here.
Cooley, not much there. Back to the line of scrimmage, down to Amanda Guerra.
Well, Rich, I was able to talk to Quentin Cooley after he scored that last touchdown. I said, look, you got a lot of nicknames, a bull, bowling ball. What do your teammates call you? He goes, oh, baby, I am a bowling ball. I knock down those pins. I keep getting strikes. But on a serious note, when it comes to Cooley, he said early on in the season, he could tell his team had the recipe for success, but he felt like they were letting off the gas at times. So he's a leader. He relayed that message to the team both verbally and by example. And by all means, they keep bowling strikes, I guess you're going to say.
Yeah, well, that throw by Salter is over his head. He's got 6 touchdowns in his last 2 games. And, yeah, he has embraced his inner bowling ball.
Man, when they're trying to tackle him, it's like that bowling ball's covered in vegetable oil or something, man. He's just so hard to bring down, got that low center of gravity.
And here's an opportunity for New Mexico State. It's 3rd and 10, and obviously Liberty is in field goal range. But New Mexico State needs to keep him out of the end zone. Liberty so great in the red zone.
Watch the play clock.
And they call a timeout.
Timeout. Liberty, their second of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Now, Liberty was frustrated there because of the substitution. The official wouldn't get off the ball because Liberty had made an adjustment and substituted personnel, which gives, by rule, New Mexico State the ability to do that. But it's on the offense to be able to make those substitutions quickly, and what a lot of defenses do is make those substitutions late. Right there, you should have snapped the ball. If you're the center, Jordan White, that's a free play there because of the defender being in the neutral zone.
I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback start the hand clap, which starts the sequence for the snap.
He was watching the clock.
Well, the official was standing right there from the center.
And remember, they had to burn another timeout because of the play clock, and that's when Jamie Chadwell was going over and pointing to Caden Salter. So Salter was trying to do the right thing, but now they've only got 1 timeout in a game that's been going back and forth.
3rd down 10. Got to get just inside the 5.
Watch his legs.
Stunt coming up the middle. He avoids that, scrambles, sideline, and knocked out of bounds. And so New Mexico State is going to force Liberty's hand here and a field goal.
That's the stop that the Aggies had to have. That is outstanding that they are able to get themselves off of the football field here because of how good Liberty is in the red zone. This is momentum. This is a 4-point swing. And remember, Liberty's not the best at kicking these things.
It wasn't a sack, but it was a pressure, and that put everything in motion. 31 yards, Nick Brown. His longest is 41. And Brown, oh, it went over the upright. He missed it. What a huge stop for the Aggies. Chadwell says, wait a minute, that went over the upright. But the official looking straight up the bar had it wide.
Yeah, the officials stand under the bar to look straight up. It can go over, but it's got to go over inside. That's why they stay underneath. And if you extended that bar another 50 feet, they have to make a determination of whether or not it would have went through, meaning between the uprights. And clearly that one wasn't. And they called it a missed field goal.
The fans have watched it up on the giant replay screen, but when you have an official looking straight up the bar and you can kind of see that ball on the outside, and you can hear the fan reaction.
Yeah, Nick Brown's only 5 for 9 of field goals this season. And that's the stop that New Mexico State wanted. That's twice in the red zone. Liberty comes away without any points. And now it's up to the Aggies to see if they can respond. And this is where you have to keep your composure, man. Emotions are flying. You start to get frustrated, but this is where team culture comes in. This is where belief comes in. This is where your leadership has to show up. And that's not easy to do in the age of the transfer portal, but that's exactly what both these teams have to do here.
Blaze Berlowitz, who's listed 3rd on the depth chart, is a quarterback. Berlowitz is going to throw. He's going to throw it deep. This is Fapel in a crowd, and it's incomplete.
That is a really interesting turn of events. Berlowitz is a freshman, and he underthrows this football.
We have had
Donovan Fapel was open there, but because the ball floated, it allowed the defense to recover.
Diego Pavia, we've had no indication of an injury. But it's Berlowitz, a freshman out of Oklahoma. Second and 10. Blitz is coming on the young quarterback. He's got a man open. That's Hudson with the catch. Hudson at midfield is wrestled down. Flags follow.
It's going to be a face mask.
15 more to follow.
Man, what an interesting turn of events. You got your 3rd stringer out there throwing the ball deep on back-to-back plays.
Personal foul, face mask, number 26, defense. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
As good as Liberty's been all season, they're one of the worst teams in the country for penalties. 117th last week against UTEP. 8 of them for 56 yards, and this just extends a huge play by Trent Hudson and gets them inside field goal range with a fresh set of downs.
Now Eli Stowers is in, and Berlowitz is in as well. He's behind Stowers, who takes the pitch, flips it, back to Berlowitz, loads up, gets hammered, caught there at the 18, Hudson, my goodness. Deep in the bag of tricks.
Man, I didn't think this play had a shot. It was taking so long to develop. It's just a reverse pass, but because both quarterbacks are on the field, he throws this ball on and out, and it catches Liberty off guard and takes a shot when he releases the football. But Trent Hudson is becoming the go-to hot hand. Again, he leads the team in touchdown receptions, and Pavia's inner elbow of his throwing arm being attended to.
He had 9 touchdowns. Hudson had a spectacular one to end the first half. Berlowitz in shotgun. Watkins on the edge. Caught from behind, but not before a nice gain of about 5 yards.
Oh, man, you see C.J. Bazell's grabbing the inside of his leg there.
Timeout on the field for an injury to the defense.
What a turn of events here. First, it's the missed field goal by a foot or 2. Then Pavia's on the sideline. You've got Berlowitz who comes in. And New Mexico State is in the red zone. They're facing second down and about 6.
Hard to see what happens there, but he grabs his area where his hip flexors are. Not feeling so good. C.J. Bazell's been such a factor off the backside edge. I'm surprised that New Mexico hasn't run any bootlegs or done anything to take advantage of how hard he's crashing off the outside edge.
Remember the last time we saw Diego Pavia throw a football, it was this play, and this was a huge play. They were down by 2 touchdowns. Pavia throws it. And it's a 75-yard touchdown, and there was nothing, no indication. But that elbow area is obviously bothering him. He's been getting attention to it. And Berlowitz. In the shotgun. Second down. Rolling, throwing, and it's caught. And that's Cordell David. Let's see where he's out of bounds. It's not enough for the first down. This will be a third down and about 4.
It's a big task right now for offensive play caller Tim Beck to get Blaze Berlowitz, the number 3 quarterback on the depth chart, some plays here that he's confident in, that he knows how to execute, and this one's coming in late. Again, there's some confusion there. These are situations where you want your quarterback to be relaxed. Red zone, we've talked about it, often determine outcomes, and here's one on third down that's huge.
He has not thrown a pass all season long until tonight, until this drive. Little fake, looking, throwing, end zone, touchdown! Hudson, third string quarterback, no problem. A defensive stop and a huge drive and a chance to tie it for New Mexico State.
This is just an RPO with a beautiful look. Off of play action, Tim Beck with the call of the game so far gets everybody on Liberty's defense's eyes to think that they were trying to run a perimeter run and hit him with the dagger, and Hudson comes through once again to tie this bad boy up.
Should we be surprised with a name like Blaze Berlowitz coming off the bench?
Not at all. They're going to fake like they're going to do a